Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. David is here with a new video today about the topic shifting and how to practice, how to do them right. Before I start, I would love you to recommend all my channel and to ask you kindly to share and to subscribe if you love the content, if you love the work and the videos. But now let's get straight to the topic. Well, the very first thing I would love to tell you, number one, is watch out that you know what shifting is about. Shifting is not about like a particular finger which needs to go from one position to the other. Shifting, the key to the perfect shifting is actually you need to learn how to adjust your arm in whatever position. At that point, just imagine a clock, not a digital clock like the new ones, no, a really nice old clock. And you know the clock is going always like this. Okay, and there was a certain moment where someone adjusted the right distance of each second, right? And this is exactly what you need to do actually with your arm. Like put the arm, like take the violin, and then you just grab the violin the normal way. You don't play, you don't need to play now any notes, and you just do this. You kind of do this, but also you can go like really relaxed all the way up and down, but then again you try to do this. And there comes a little exercise you can do. You put down whatever finger, let's start with the first finger, and then you play kind of with the first finger up and down, up and down, up and down, and you always rise the distance. It sounds a bit like this. Then you take the second finger, or it doesn't matter. And then the third and the fourth finger. This you can do on all four strings. And this will bring you immediately, and it will improve your ability to understand, to memorize the distances, the different distances on the fingerboard in all positions. Do this exercise really every day before you start the scales or whatever. But let's get back. Point number one is actually you need to memorize your arm, the right position in whatever position. So once you memorize this, like third position is like this, fifth position like this, first position is there, it's already a huge step forward, because the fingers, they actually just fall down. You either put them down or you lift them up. That's it. But your arm needs to lead. And this is an important word. As a second point, I would say, always take care that the arm is always leading. It's never, I really saw a lot students, they really do shiftings with the finger first and then the rest is following. But this is completely wrong. The arm is number one, is the leader. The rest is following. So the arm goes somewhere and this is coming behind, is really catching up. You go there, you go first, and the rest is coming. Arm leading, hand and fingers just following. Number three, which is important in general, is a good weight. When you shift, never do this with too light fingers on the strings. Specifically, the moment where you shift, you put a bit more weight, even more. And just imagine you have a piece of meat, or for all the vegetarians, you can imagine a good fat carrot or whatever, and you shift all the way up or down on the strings. This is super important because this will give you extra confidence, and in any case it will give you a better sound. Sorry, my shoulder rest again. Better sound, because if you put a good weight here by doing the shiftings, immediately your right arm will follow. Why is it like this? It's pretty simple, because everything what we do is always a circle. So if you do something wrong in the left hand, immediately the right hand or the right arm will also behave wrong. So watch out that you always go with a good weight by doing the shiftings. Point number four is simple, have always a good contact. I really saw really often that people, they do the shiftings and then they light up the finger and the shifting is lost. The moment where you light up, where you kind of lift up the finger a little bit to go from one to another position, what you do is actually imagine there is a car which needs to go from A to B, and suddenly you lift the car up and you tell the car, now go. Well, this is simply impossible because you need a contact to the street, right? And the street on the violin is the fingerboard, and it's the strings. So if you make the shiftings, always good contact with the thumb and with the finger which is shifting. But in general, keep an eye on this, focus that the hand in general is always adjusted perfectly to the fingerboard, whatever you do. The better you do this, by the way, the better will be all the music and all the technical problems. You will solve them way faster, because it's a bit like the rails of a train. The train should always be attached to the rails. Same here, never lose the contact to the fingerboard. Point number, I think now it's number 5, is you slide. And this is really important, because sliding shiftings is the most important thing. Of course, it goes with hand in hand with the weight, what I told already, and the contact to the fingerboard, but you need always to slide. And what I mean with sliding is never jump, okay? I saw a lot of people, they really jump always when they do a shifting. A shifting, to shift, means to slide. And if you practice shiftings, specifically at home, if you have all the time, practice them super slow, whatever spot it is, whatever concert, whatever part, super slow, with a lot sliding, with the sound should be really like you do a huge glissando, okay? So these for now are the 5 most important facts you need to focus on, and you need to keep this really in mind and memorize them like hell when you practice shiftings. And now we come to a very simple, I have 3 simple examples. You will see them there. And I'm gonna show you how to practice now, if you have specific spot, how to practice the shifting. Let's say you have a little melody like this. What you see, this is example number 1. If you have, and this is a simple rule, if the finger, which is the arriving to be played finger in the new position, is higher than the finger, the last finger to be played in the old position, you always slide on the last finger in the old position, and once you reach the new position, you just slap down the finger which needs to be played. In that example, it's like this. This is the last finger, which is the first finger. On that finger, I slide until the first finger in the new position, whatever note it is. And once I reach the new position, I just slap down the third finger, which needs to be played. But how do we practice? We keep an eye, we really practice only the 2 notes, which are the takeoff and landing note. Takeoff note is this, landing note is this one. And I marked all the important notes which needs to be practiced red. So you know the red notes are the ones you need to practice and where you need to slide, to glissando, to shift. Let's get back to this first example. What I practice and how I practice, it's pretty simple. First you practice the simple shifting between the same finger of the old position and the new position. So the last finger of the new position, which is still the first finger, and then you just slide up to the new position, back, 4, back, 4. Once you're comfy with the new position and you know where to go, you just slap down the third finger as the second step. And backward. And then you speed up. And then you play all together. And it's done. The second example is, oh, by the way, the first example, of course, it's the first finger and the third finger I took as an example. It can be also the second finger and the fourth finger, the first finger and the second finger, the first finger and the fourth finger, as long, again, remember what I said, as long the to be played finger in the new position is higher than the last played finger in the old position. If it's like this, you always slide on the last finger of the old position, this is the slide finger, until the new position reached, and then you slap down the finger above which needs to be played. Now the second example is pretty simple. If the finger in the old position which you play is the same like the to be played finger in the new position, you just practice this one. It's pretty simple. Again, the example here is, So it's the third finger in the old position and it's also the third finger in the new position. So we just practice. It can be also second finger, whatever, or. But this is what we practice. Once we're comfy with these two positions and this, the old and the new finger, we play all together. And again, you start practicing slow. And then you speed up, and once you are in the tempo which you need to reach, believe me, no one will really hear the slide what you do. And the third example, what I would say is the kind of a bit harder example, is if the finger which needs to be played in the new position is lower than the finger which is the old last finger of the old position. In that case, I took the example. So as you see, I play in the old position, it's the third finger, and the new finger in the new position is the second finger. So you see, the finger is lower. What I do is pretty simple. In that case, you need to slide already on the finger which gonna be the new finger in the new position. If it's the second finger written, then you need to play like this. What I practice, again it's marked red, I practice already the slide on the second finger in the old position, even if it's not written, but this is how you practice. Because the second finger is the finger which will arrive as the right finger in the new position. Yeah, but what we need to do, and what our mind needs to memorize, is the sliding under the old finger, through the old finger, into the new finger. If I play a bit slower, and you see the second finger is already on the fingerboard, on the string, and it's kind of pushing the third finger, which is still the last to be played finger in the old position. It's just pushing the finger away and sliding on the right position in the new position on the right note. And I practice this, by the way, like this. You don't play all the passage, you just take. It can be also, for example, if the new finger is 1 and the old finger is 3. No, if the new finger gonna be 1 and the old finger is 3, it's a bit like this. So you practice slow, also backwards, you speed up, but you see that my second finger, it's really pushing just the third finger away. I show you like this. These two fingers, 3 is playing, still old position, the second finger is already coming, pushing away and going into the new, on to the new finger, new position in the new position. So this is my example how you should practice, and always just keep in mind, you start practicing slow. And once you got it, you speed up, and then it's gonna be perfect. I hope you understood everything, because shifting, explaining for me in English, it's a bit complicated, but the most important message again is the arm is always leading, never the fingers alone. You slide always with the good weight on the strings. You really need to feel the strings, and you always practice sliding. Yeah, whatever you do, there is always a finger which slides from the old to the new position, and then either you put the finger down, or it's the same finger, or the finger, which is the new one, is already sliding under the last finger if it's lower, and then sliding under it, pushing it away and sliding onto the new finger in the new position. This is how I recommend everyone to practice this. I hope it helped you. And now just grab the violin, go practice. Bye bye.